Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric. Today is Sunday, February 2nd, and it is day 4 post-op plastic surgery after massive weight loss with Dr. Alejandro Galvez in Tijuana, Mexico. So on January 29th, 2020, I had plastic surgery, skin removal surgery. I had a extended tummy tuck from hip to hip. I had a fleur-de-lis vertical incision. I had a reverse tummy tuck or corsetplasty, so that's the incision right under the breast line. I had a breast lift, no augmentation, and then a bra line back lift, and as well as 2-zone lipo on my lower back. So I am exhausted right now, which is why I'm lying in bed. Today was mostly good, but I'm feeling a little rough right now. So I mentioned if you watched the last video I posted at the end of that last video, I had said that I had just lost my pain pump, and I didn't lose it. I ran out of my pain pump, and so I was a little nervous because I've heard that the first day without it can be rough, and you just don't really realize how much it's doing for you, and it was definitely doing stuff for me. I have so far just been given Tylenol every 8 hours to deal with the pain, which is kind of fine, but I had it this morning at 6 and it is currently 5:30, so it's been more than 8 hours, and it has for sure worn off. But I don't want to take it, I want to take it close to bed because I want to make sure it lasts me through the night. Definitely had some discomfort last night, and I just one thing to note is that depending on what room you get, what side of the hotel you're on, the noises outside can be quite loud, and just like weird alarms going off, sirens. There's some clubs, so on like Friday and Saturday night, last night was Saturday night, the music can go on until like quite late and quite loud. And so it kept basically everyone on this side of the hotel, like we have a group chat, and so half the group just got no sleep last night. There was this like really loud like police siren that went off around 2, which is when they come in to do the nurse checkup. And I just could not fall back asleep for a long time. And, you know, I was in a lot more discomfort than I have been. Again, it's kind of to be expected. It's not been excruciating, but it's definitely been quite uncomfortable. More uncomfortable today than I have been thus far. So yeah, I just think not getting a lot of sleep and then having that additional discomfort has not been ideal for the day. Let's see, so I did want to mention, I talked about in my day in the life video that I posted on like the 1st, I think. I talked about the Brazilian wax that I got, and that wasn't a requirement from my surgeon. Like, he didn't give me any instruction or guidance. I just knew that he was gonna be messing around generally in that vicinity, and from what I'd seen enough, you know, tummy tuck stuff to know that for his work, the incision is quite low, and the drains are beneath the incision, so the drains are even lower. And they are, like I said, I think in one of my videos, they are really very close. They're like right at the line, basically, to where she stopped waxing, because I didn't do the full Brazilian. But I'm honestly really glad I did it. They'll, you know, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to, and they'll tell you to shave, or they'll shave you if it's necessary. But I specifically wanted to do the Brazilian because I knew the drains were going to be there, and I've heard, and it's true, that like tugging on the drain site and that discomfort around the drain site is one of the most annoying things, and I didn't want to have to be worrying about hair growing back in there, because, you know, you can have the drains for a while, and so, you know, wax was going to last longer, and then I wouldn't have to be worried because there's tape down there. They put like a pad, like a maxi pad that they cut to because the drains like can have a little bit of like leakage around them, and so I just didn't want to be messing around with like bits of hair getting caught in there. So I'm personally really glad I did it, even though I don't know that I'll ever do it again. But I just want to mention that. Today I watched a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of the people that I follow on YouTube, and I follow obviously a lot of weight loss people, but I follow a lot of beauty gurus, if you will, and some other fitness people, and so less on the weight loss side of things, but a lot of my other faves have been posting a lot and quite long videos, and so I still haven't even caught up entirely, which is nice. And I've also been editing videos. Today I re-uploaded my days 0 through 1 vlog because it was demonetized because I had Dr. Galvez's full story in there, like the story of him doing the surgery, and they said that was not suitable for advertisers, whatever. So I cut that and I just put the before and after photos, and then I showed you where you could go on my Instagram to find it, so it's still there. But that I'm about to do some reading. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, actually, and so a bunch of the fellow surgery sisters are gathered in one of the women's rooms to watch the game and really watch like the halftime show, and they ordered some food, and I was thinking about going, but I could not care less about football, and I do like the commercials and I like the halftime show, and I probably would have gone if I'm just not feeling social today. I'm really just tired and a little bit in pain, and I'm not feeling up to like getting down there and putting on that effort, so I just decided to skip it. But yeah, today for lunch, Mama Galvez sent a tuna salad, and I don't really like tuna salad. I make my own, which I love, but I do it with Greek yogurt, and I can't stand mayo, and I can't stand a lot of the add-ins that go into tuna and chicken salads. So I only really like them when I make them, because I make them differently than most people do. And so I didn't have lunch, and we were looking on Uber Eats. So they have Uber Eats here, you can get delivered. And there was a Little Caesars pizza, and oh man, I just had such a hankering for the stuffed crazy bread, which they had. So we ordered that, and a pepperoni pizza. They only had like a large, that was all you could get. But so for lunch we got Uber Eats. It was $10, and it was really good. It tastes just like I remember. It was so tasty. I ate 3 of the stuffed breadsticks and a piece of pizza for lunch, which was a crazy amount of calories, but to be honest, I don't care. I've been eating pretty well here and have been fairly consistently under my calorie goal, and though I am not working out as extensively as I was, I just also have a lot to heal, and God, my hair looks super cute, but whatever. Anyways, pardon the interruption earlier. The nurse and the doctor came. The doctor comes once a day. The nurses usually come every few hours, but right now there are 11 patients, and usually if there are more than 8 patients, there are 2 nurses, but for some reason right now there's just the 1 nurse, and so I saw a nurse at 9 this morning and then have not seen one until now, and it's 5:45, so it's been a while. And honestly, I've lost my train of thought, so sorry if I end up repeating myself, but I could take a Tylenol every 8 hours. And I wanted to take one now, and she visited, but she's gonna come back at 9, and I'd rather not have it wear off in the middle of the night and then not be able to sleep because of it, so I'm waiting, even though I'm annoyed. I mean, and it's not unbearable, it's just uncomfortable, and I can live with discomfort. But yeah, so Uber Eats is here, so if you want to get food, you can. They've got American stuff like Little Caesars and Buffalo Wild Wings. There's sushi, there's Thai, there's Mexican food, there's everything. There's also a mall across the street, and my stepmom today went out and just did a little exploring. I mean, I feel like mall is kind of a weird term for it, but kind of like a shopping center. And there's like a sushi place there, and a Thai place, and there's a Starbucks, like a proper Starbucks. So she got like a Frappuccino or something. She was excited. And then there's like a supermarket next door. I think she's gonna check that one out tomorrow, and we'll see what is there. So like I said, we can't leave. So if you have companions, they can go do that. But really, if you come by yourself, the valets can get you anything you need. Oh yes, so and then the big news of the day is that I had my first bowel movement since the day before surgery, so since Tuesday, and it is Sunday, so that's what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days. I mean, to be fair, I didn't eat anything all day Wednesday, so there wasn't really much to happen, but I was definitely, they were saying like I was bloated from being constipated, but I didn't, sometimes when you're constipated, like it's really uncomfortable, and I hadn't reached that point. Like, it hadn't felt like that or anything, and it still doesn't, but I know that there's still stuff in there, and let's just say it was an experience. Again, I'm gonna just, tell y'all how it is, but it was rock hard, and it was like a bunch of, like smaller pellets, but like that had formed a mass that was larger than I was capable of fasting, but they had just like congealed together, so it was not fun. There was a little bit of manual help needed to really to extract and to massage things along, so that was really fun. But I was like happy that it happened, and I hope that it will continue to, because I really don't want to have to keep doing this every like 5 days or something. But most people I've talked to said like kind of once you start going, but I haven't had to go again all day, and that was like this morning. And I don't think it's a coincidence that it happened right after I lost my pain pump, because pain medications notoriously constipate. So I'm guessing now that I'm no longer getting regular pain meds, I will be a little bit more regular. So I think I covered everything I wanted to. I got distracted by my nurses finally coming in, so I'm not totally sure that I did, but yeah, I think today was like, it was a fine day. Like, I got stuff done and enjoyed myself for the most part, or but I think just being so tired on top of like having more discomfort and pain than I've had since surgery has just been like not a great combination. I think if I had been more well rested, it wouldn't have been as bad, or if I'd been not well rested but had the pain pump still, it would have been manageable. And yeah, I mean, I would definitely say this is probably like a 5, maybe 6, 5, 6 in some places, also just like my skin itself, I'm definitely like puffed, swollen, and on the skin, like on, like I have a vertical incision, and then the skin on either side of my stomach is not numb, and it's just feeling very like sensitive, like almost like rashy, and it doesn't look like it has a rash or anything, but it feels like it's like the faja rubbing against just my bare skin is uncomfortable, and it's in areas that I didn't have any like work done, so it's just annoying. But yeah, okay, I think that's pretty much my Wednesday update. Not my Wednesday update, it's Sunday. My Sunday update, day 4 post-op. I can't believe it's only been 4 days. It both feels like, it mostly just feels like it happened ages ago. Like, I think because, again, even for the fact that I'm like at a 5 or a 6 pain right now, I'm more like a 5. I'm 4 days after having massive reconstruction surgery. Like the miracles he has performed upon me, no bounds. I've lost 15 pounds of skin, y'all. That is wild. And I don't even think that accounts for like how much he lipoed. I don't know, because like I said, that wasn't something we discussed beforehand. I might ask him at my follow-up if he knows, or if that was like included in that pile of skin, like how much he actually lipoed. And I don't actually even know exactly where. He just like said my lower back, but I've got bruising along my sides, but I'm not totally sure where. So yeah, I'm really curious, because yeah, I don't know what's up. Okay, I think I've rambled long enough. I've said this a bunch of times, but I doubt I'll come back to you again today, but I'll come back to you tomorrow. Hello friends, it is currently 9 a.m. on Monday, February 3rd, so this is the beginning of day 5 post-op plastics. So I just wanted to, oh god, I'm holding this and this is a bad idea. Let me see if I can prop it. Yeah. Just wanted to do a quick update. I'll do another update at the end of the day, I think, but yesterday was an okay day. It's like a fine day all day. and I think I came at you guys and I was really tired, and that whole night was rough. We're definitely the roughest it's been since I've got here, so I just wanted to talk about it. I was too tired to like come on and make another video. I think that was a big part, is just I was not able to sleep at all basically the night before, and I think there was something happening, maybe just because it was the end of the week, it was Sunday, but like the nurses were really sporadic when they were coming, and like no one really knew when they would be here, and I went like a really long time without seeing one, and so it was just a little bit confusing. And I was, my first day without the pain pump, so I was definitely like feeling a lot more sore than I have been, and was exhausted and tired, and had a little bit of just a moment where all I wanted to do was roll over on my stomach and curl up, because that's how I sleep. I sleep on my stomach with my head pillow, you know, holding my pillow, and just I think it kind of hit me that I won't be able to do that for a long time, for weeks, for months, and had a little bit of a, I didn't like have a total meltdown or cry or anything, but I was definitely like, it was borderline, but I know it was almost entirely because of the exhaustion, and the combination of the exhaustion with just a little bit of extra pain than I had been feeling. And honestly, it's totally manageable. I think if I had not been so tired, it wouldn't have felt so bad. But then I took 2 muscle relaxers, and that was the other thing, is I was so tired, but they come in at from sometime between 9 and 10, and so I had to stay up. So she came, I think, around 9:30, and I had 2 muscle relaxers and Tylenol and a melatonin, and I slept for like 7 straight hours because I've been here for a few days. I can ditch the 2 a.m. check-in, so I did that, and it was glorious. It was really nice. So I slept 7 hours last night straight, and I feel great this morning, and I didn't even need a Tylenol when I woke up, so I think the exhaustion definitely played a part. But just wanted to update because I'm still feeling great. I'm quite mobile, I would say. Probably since the end of day 3, I've been able to get out of bed by myself now. You saw in one of my videos how I was getting out of bed at first for the first few days. My stepmom had to help me, or the nurse had to help me. Now I've got enough leverage to be able to push myself up by myself, which is nice, you know, feel a little bit more human. I'm definitely not doing too much or straining too much, but I'm just a little bit more aware, I think, of what I can do. And so anyways, just wanted to update because last night was a little rough. And I'll let you know how this day goes. Hi guys, it is currently Tuesday, February 4th, and I never came at you with another update yesterday. I got a really bad headache / migraine towards the end of the day, and I took 2 Tylenol, I had ice compresses, all this stuff, and it just didn't go away, and it's still lingering a little bit this morning, so I wasn't really feeling up to making a video, and it was kind of what feels like a normal day. The pain was totally manageable. I didn't take any Tylenol at all, any pain medication, until I got my headache, and then I took a lot of it just to, the maximum I could, just because the headache was so bad, but everything else was fine. I did start getting blood thinner shots, and those are one of the more painful things, which is silly, but they put them in my thigh, and they kind of, you know, just gets tender and not quite bruised, but you know, that is one of my least favorite things. But otherwise, pretty good. We ended up ordering dinner from downstairs. So there's like a bar downstairs. You can get some coffee, you can get drinks, or your companion can get drinks. And they have like a menu that you can order. And so you can order it and you can eat it down there, or you can bring it up. They don't have room service, but you can call in the order and then they'll let you know when it's ready. And so we just called it in, and then my stepmom went down and picked it up from the bar and brought it back up. Mama Galvez had brought shrimp fettuccine alfredo, and I don't eat shrimp, and I'm trying not to eat pasta, you know, after my pizza binge the other day. So we decided to just get something. I got a really tasty barbecue chicken burger, and I just took the bun off and ate some of the fries. The fries were really good. And then my stepmom got some creme brulee, which I'll put a photo of it. It was an interesting display of food, but it was actually really, really tasty. So we had that last night. And yeah, I'm trying to think, not much to report. I seem to like have, now that I, you know, went on the day 4, bowel movement pretty much once a day in the morning, and it's still about the same process, but a little bit easier each time. My skin's real dry, starting to dry up a little bit, but I don't want to put lotion on it because moisture isn't good, and like it's really like my inner thighs, kind of right there, so not as fun. The faja has a opening, so you can like pee and use the restroom. It's just open down there. There's no like closure. The closure stops right above, kind of basically right below my incision. And there's like a, slit that goes all the way back. And so it's a little funny just because with all the swelling, that's like one of the places that doesn't have any compression. So that particular area is puffed up a bit since surgery, which has been weird because, everywhere else is compressed. Definitely still really swollen everywhere. That's going to be the case for a while. But otherwise, feeling pretty good. One of the girls who's here, like I've not had any issues. One of the girls who's here has had quite a number of issues, but in a way that everything has always been fine, caught in time. Like the care has been really excellent. So even though she's had some complications, she's still happy with what she did, would do it again, feels that that because of the high level of care here, things were caught more quickly than they would have been in the States. Because, issues can happen everywhere. It's not because we're down here in Mexico that she's having these issues. So she's actually been super grateful because the care here and the way that, things have been caught so quickly has been good. But I didn't want to mention, it's not, it is still a major surgery. You can still have complications and have issues, but even the people who've had those have been well taken care of. So I think that's everything for now. I will plan on coming back to talk to you more about how today goes, because it's currently like 9 and we just had breakfast. Got a delicious omelet. If you go down to the breakfast bar, you can put stuff on your plate. So I usually put like some ham, and they have some cheese, some zucchini, some onion, and I hand it to them and I ask them to make an omelet. And so they'll like chop it all up and make an omelet. They'll also just like fry eggs for you because they have a scrambled egg that's already out, but if you want fried eggs, so they're really great. Yeah, I think that's everything, and I will talk to you all soon. Hello, still day 6 post-op. It is currently Tuesday, yes. Slightly different location. You can see normally I sit where that pillow is, because you can see the little art, and there's my computer. And now I'm sitting at the desk. I thought you guys would want a slightly different angle, wearing my kimono. I think I'll post a photo of me wearing it. My VSG confessional and chemistry queen. If you haven't watched them on YouTube, both of them are on YouTube and are awesome. And my VSG confessional had this really cute kimono in her plastics video, and then I know chemistry queen saw that and was like, I want one. And then I watched both of them and I was like, I also want one. So here we are. So I'm wearing that over my sweats because I'm so cold. Y'all know if you've had weight loss surgery, lost a lot of weight, the cold is real, and they do like you to keep the temperature in the rooms at a slightly cooler temperature. Like mine's at 72 right now, and I usually lower it to 70 at night, but they don't want you really going any higher than that. And even that was like, a little high for them, but just because the heat can have issues with blood pressure, etc. So because I haven't had any issues with nausea, with dizziness, with fainting, I'm actually pretty happy and almost surprised, because I do have some mild orthostatic hypotension that comes and goes in waves. Like I'll have periods of time where I get it quite frequently when I stand quickly, and then I'll have periods where it doesn't affect me at all. And so I'm very glad that it has not seemed to be affecting me here, which might be because I can't get up quickly. So I am standing so gradually that it hasn't affected me. But that is just something to note if you're coming down here, is if you are a weight loss patient and you do get cold a lot, I would definitely recommend bringing warm clothing. I've basically been living in, I brought 2 pairs of sweatpants. I've been living in those. Even like I'm a little cold right now just wearing this over it. And my hoodie. I've been wearing my, I have a zip up hoodie. Zip up is key. But that's pretty much my my outfit that I've been living in. So I would definitely make sure you have warm stuff, because even though it's warm outside, you're not really going outside. There is actually a little patio, so you're not allowed to leave the hotel. There's a little patio off of the kind of breakfast area that sometimes a couple times I've gone out with some of the other women here and you know, eaten our lunch or just had a coffee or something, or tea, you know, out on the patio to get a little bit of fresh air, which is nice. So far today, like I said, it's kind of like mid-afternoon. I'm really tired. God, I was tired at breakfast, and I woke up, I mean, and again, it was another night where my nurse didn't come until pretty late, and I then slept straight through until 6 o'clock, but it was still only about 6 hours of sleep because she didn't come until 11. And then it took me a while after that to fall asleep. So, and I think just generally, you're tired. You're gonna be tired, your body is healing. So that is a thing. I don't like taking naps. I'm so paranoid about taking naps because I don't want it to screw with my sleep schedule tonight, you know, or any night, and then not be able to fall asleep. And so I think it'll be different when I'm at home in my own bed. Well, not my own bed, in my medical recliner, and I just have a little bit more control. Right now, you don't know when people are gonna be coming in, and that's another thing, is they just come in. All of them have keys, so they'll usually knock. Sometimes they don't though, but they will just walk right into your room. And so that is just something to be aware of. The valets, when they bring you food, or if they're checking in on you, the doctors, the nurses, I think she's a physical therapist who does the massages, they all just come right in. Which is one thing I wanted to note, because I did talk about the lymphatic massages, which she just left. It was nice. But I don't believe that everybody gets those included. I think that might have changed. I think that you maybe used to, but now it looks like maybe it's only certain procedures. So that is just something to note. You might not have lymphatic massage included in your quote, or your, you know, what you're paying for, if you're not getting certain procedures. And I don't know which ones those are or anything like that. I just know that some of the girls here aren't getting the massages. So I didn't want to make everyone be like, where's my massage? Update. I don't think I updated you guys on the pricing when I mentioned that I was looking through and there was the breast strap included, and I didn't think I needed it because I didn't have implants. And I contacted the coordinator, and she was like, yep, you're right. I'll refund you that $30. So she will be refunding me. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. Again, they're still working out some kinks, some growing pains. I'm not going to get into it, but there's some drama last year with Dr. Galvez. He was working with Bariatric Pal. They screwed him over. They parted ways. It was a whole long story, and I don't know all the information because I wasn't involved, but I do know that they've kind of branched out on their own. It's like kind of been trial by fire because they had so many existing patients, right? They weren't starting a new practice. It was a practice that was essentially already existing, but then they turned to managing it themselves. Anyways, what I wanted to say is that there's some issue. I know that they're thinking of, you know, they're working out the kinks, and there have been some issues just talking with the other women here with pricing stuff. To me, I haven't had any issues with it. Everything's been great. But one thing to note, for example, and I talked about it in my videos, my previous videos, but my original quote included implants. We decided not to get those. And my quote did not include lipo, and he didn't specifically mention lipo at all to me while he was doing the markup. I wanted him to do whatever he needed to do to get the best results, so I am not in any way upset about having to pay for the lipo that he did. I'm glad that he did it. If that's gonna make me happier with the results, then I'm fine with it. And it lucked out that it was basically the same price as the implants, but even if it had been more, if I had just had to pay that $700 extra, I would be totally fine with that. And it's why I brought extra money in case there were changes like that. But your situation might vary, and I know many of the women here had procedures or additional things added that they perhaps had not okayed beforehand. They're just some of those issues, and I know they're working out the kinks, and I think that it's, you know, they'll work with you, but that is something to be aware of, is that even not only can your quote change when you get down here and he actually sees you and gets to, you know, move your skin around and see what will work, but he could realize things as once you're under and he actually starts cutting, might see things that he realizes, you know, need to give you a better result. So if that is something that you're concerned about in terms of additional pricing or things that you really don't want him doing, I don't know, I guess that's something to talk about with him, because yeah, that could just be a thing. And I just wanted to mention it because I know some of the women here are, you know, a little bit frustrated with trying to figure out the pricing and feeling like they're not wanting to have to pay for more than what they kind of agreed to, even though I can understand why once you're under, you know, he wants to do whatever it'll take to give you the best results. So it's just kind of a delicate balance. Just a thing, you know, I wanted to mention. In other news, I had a delicious steak panini for lunch. Mama Galvez brought a chicken pita that looks really good. My stepmom is actually gonna have it after her workout, but it had condiments on it, and you know, your girl does not enjoy a condiment. So we just ordered a steak panini from downstairs, and it was so good. Their fries here, man, are really, really tasty too. They're like really well seasoned. They're like kind of wedge fries with like seasoning, so really good. Okay, I think I'm talking for a little bit too long. I think I'm in a chatty mood, but yeah, that's how day 6 is going. Okay, before I go, because I don't know if I'll update tonight because I get so tired at night, but pain has been fine. I took a Tylenol this morning just because of the headache. I wouldn't have taken it if it weren't for the headache. I didn't feel like I needed it for my incisions by any means. The headache is super, super faint. It's like almost gone, but it's sort of just like threatening, you know, in the background. Definitely super swollen. I mentioned in my previous video about how the swelling is being pushed to my exposed mons area. And I definitely confirmed that was the case when I showered today. You know, they take off the faja and I was looking in the mirror and I was like, yeah, it's swollen, but it's definitely flatter. And then it just suddenly like puffs out, which is like a little weird looking. And you know, it's whatever at this point. It's all, you know, whatever. But that's the other thing is you will lose all sense of modesty and shame. Which is why I'm sharing so many of these photos of myself on the internet, because it's almost like it's not my body. I think that's part of it. My before photos, you know, I'm so distanced from pre-VSG Grace, and now, even though it was just not even a week ago, pre-skin surgery Grace is no longer who I am, right? Like that's not what I look like anymore. So she seems like a different person. And I have not yet had a chance to become accustomed to whatever Grace is now, fucking Frank and Barbie Grace, with all of the incisions and everything, like, because I can't see the final results yet, right? I think until I get to a point where I've started to really heal and like can move more and kind of feel like myself, I don't think it's gonna sink in that this is actually my body, you know, because it doesn't feel like my body because I can't do anything. I can't do the things that my body can do, if that makes sense. So there's this weird kind of disconnect right now with my body as it is now and my body as it has been before. It's almost like, you know, everyone keeps asking, how do you feel? Do you feel slimmer? What do you think? And I just don't even have thoughts. Like I'm trusting the process. Like I'm not upset, but I'm not unhappy. Like I'm happy. Like I'm happy because I'm excited to see what will happen and see the final result. But it's a little bit surreal, but you know, almost dissociative in a way that is not as unhealthy as that sounds. It's just like I'm in this weird transition period, this weird state of flux where it's like I don't really have a body, if that makes sense. But anyways, I think that's why I can share my body so much right now on the internet. And also, you know, like I said, you get to a point where you have no shame. I like stripped off completely for Galvez. He's, you know, pushing things around, having me hold my stomach up, you know, like inches from everything. And then I was, you know, naked on the table. He posted Instagram stories of my insides. all of the nurses have been showered, you sit there and blow dry, you know, like they've seen it all. So that's also, I'm gonna have to go back to real life and remember that it's not normal to just like show your friends naked photos of yourself and be like, oh, look how I'm healing. But anyways, that was a tangent I had not planned on going on, but I think that's everything. I just wanted to update you. The pain is definitely a lot more, I mean, it's been manageable this whole time, but it's really quite minimal. It's just a lot of soreness, particularly around the incision areas. The incisions themselves are numb, but the areas right around it and like the swelling part, you can just feel the tenderness, and my back feels very weird because it's like numb, but not numb. It's like kind of, you know, when you start to come out of numbness, like at the doctor, you know, the dentist or whatever, and it's like I can feel some things, but not totally everything, because I think the lipo he did on the lower back. Yeah, weird. Okay, I'm really gonna go this time. I don't know if I'll come back at you guys tonight, but that's pretty much how this day has gone. Hello, so it is still day 6. And I am in fact back for one more video because I forgot that my plan was to make this video, that you're still watching right now, days 4 through 6. So I need to do an outro, and there were a couple of more things that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I'm a chatty Cathy today. You just saw a clip, I inserted a clip of, I believe, the gym, which obviously I'm not getting any use out of, but your companion, should they choose to make use of it, they can. My stepmom's been going up there. It is apparently quite hot, not well ventilated, but there you go. I also wanted to mention that should you want to do laundry, there is not any laundry service on site at the hotel, but you could always ask the valets to send out for something or other, and they will take out laundry for you and, you know, get it done for you, and it's not too expensive. So that is an option if you want to do laundry. For me, for being here, I was in the hotel a little over a week, I would say. No, actually almost exactly a week, because I got here Thursday night and I'm leaving like Thursday morning, so a little less than a week even. But I would say I'm pretty borderline in terms of needing it, because I brought very little clothing with me, knowing that I wouldn't need it. And there are a few things, because I'm just reusing the same pants. I've got compression socks, but I'm really not doing anything in them, and I have 4 pairs, so I've not even worn every single pair twice, so I have not felt like I needed to. My pants, I spilled food on them, so I just kind of spot cleaned them in the sink, and they've been spot cleaning the faja. If it gets anything on it, they'll spot clean that for you while you're showering. So I've felt like I could take stuff to the laundry, but because I'm leaving in 2 days, it's just not worth it. Well, I'll have my stepmom do a load of laundry when we go home. But speaking of valets, like I've said before, they are great. They will go out and get you anything you need. So I did have them pick up a few things for me. I've had them get me the micro Dyson spray, which is this antibacterial or spray. And every time you shower, or they change your the padding around your drain sites, they use this spray. I'm bringing back 3 bottles because it's also good for like cuts, wounds, and stuff. And so if I don't know how much I'm gonna actually end up needing, but I am planning every single time I take a shower, which will probably be either daily or every other day. That is something I'm gonna ask Dr. Galvez, is how often he thinks I should be showering, or like if it should be every single day, or if it's fine with every other day, just because I would say that I'm at a point where I could shower by myself and do everything I think by myself, but I am guessing it will take a lot more out of me than it does now, because I'm doing very little now, but I'm mobile enough to do it. But if I think every other day is probably a better, more realistic number, so we'll see what he says. But so I got that spray, I got some tape, just like kind of like wound incision tape to specifically to tape over my belly button, because they you put like gauze over it, and then also you pad the drain site. So what they've actually been doing is I brought a thing of pads, and this is one that's been cut in half, and like and then they'll cut a slit right here, and then they'll kind of notch it,
And then like for my drain, I have a drain site. Oh, you can't see. I have a drain site right underneath my armpit, essentially a little bit lower. And so it just like goes right there, on the drain site and the tube, and then they tape it so it doesn't move around. And sorry, this part is against the skin. So if there's any bleeding, it's not really bleeding, but any kind of like pus oozing, or mild bleeding there, can be tugging and stuff, but it shouldn't be like excessive or anything. So that's really just to kind of be more comfortable, but also just protect any clothing or your faja. So tape for taping things down. Long ass explanation as always. And then I also had them get me some muscle relaxers, because you can get muscle relaxers for relatively inexpensive, and in the States you need a prescription and you don't here. So I just got a bottle of those. I've been taking 2 a night just to make sure I get some good sleep. So I think those will be helpful, and it'll be helpful, to have those on hand too in the future if I hurt my back again. Which, speaking of my back, definitely that is a thing, is just the hunching over is quite uncomfortable in my back, which is like I'm leaning back right now to just get a bit of a different angle. It's more my upper back that is, because I'm like hunched like that almost, and it's not a massive hunch. I think you've seen photos of me, but it is somewhat of a hunch. And it's a little bit uncomfortable, especially if I'm standing for too long, then it's, not fun. So, but no, not really any lower back pain, but that's my lower back, like I mentioned before, is such a weird numb swollenness, and, there's so much else going on. And the other thing I did today is placed an Amazon order. So, because I'm going to be home on Thursday, I wanted to make sure that everything I wanted had time to arrive before I did, or right when I'm going to be arriving. So that means, since today is Tuesday, that 2-day Prime. I also have 1-day Prime. I live in Seattle, so we tend to get pretty good shipping. But I just ordered a couple of things. I ordered 2 different tailbone pain like cushions. One that is like the circular kind, and one that is more like a cushion kind. And I'm gonna see whichever one works best for me and return the other one. But the double pillow thing has been working for me fine, but I think it's not ideal, and I don't know, that might be a little bit cumbersome in the recliner. So, and you know what? I've had tailbone pain since before this surgery, so I think having one of those to take with me to events, all those events I go to, will be helpful. I also ordered a probiotic. My probiotic ran out right before I left, and I hadn't bothered to repurchase, but because I have been taking antibiotics here, and I generally just like taking probiotics, I think it'll be good for me to take that with me, or take that when I get home. And then I also ordered some foam earplugs, and that's really to put in my belly button. There's kind of like mixed feelings on if it's really necessary, because they did use my own belly button, but I figure they're fairly cheap. I could use a pair of, some earplugs around, and I got like a whole big case of them, and just putting it in there to make sure, a little bit helps. So I'm doing that. And and I got some gloves. I was out of like medical grade, non-powder, non-latex or whatever, gloves, just for handling my incisions and stuff. So when I am changing like the pads and stuff, and after I've showered and I'm, using the microdicin and stuff like that, I want to make sure that, I'm not spreading bacteria and germs into those sites. So I want to make sure I'm wearing gloves, and I didn't have any, so I ordered some of those. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm sure that there will be more things I'll discover that I need. I am planning to make a video on, I made a video on what I packed for Mexico, and then when I get back home, I've been keeping track of everything that I've actually been using, everything that I haven't used, and everything that I wish I had brought. And so I'm going to film the second half of that video talking about it, because I just felt like it would be more useful to have one video of like, here's what I brought, here's what I actually used, and what I wish I'd brought. So that video will be coming after I get home at some point. I will have nothing but time on my hands to film and edit. And I've made a few makeup purchases while I'm here, so I'll be able to play with my new makeup. Yeah, not being able to work out I think is gonna transfer to some online shopping, but I digress. I also am going to film a video eventually on like everything I used that was helpful to me, that I had that was useful at home while I was recovering. But obviously that video will be a few weeks coming because I have to be at home recovering before I really can tell you what I found useful. But wow, this is supposed to be a really quick update and an outro. It turned out to be a lot longer than I planned, but like I said, I'm chatty today. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope these videos have been helpful. I have one more day left, full day left here, and then I leave the next day. So I'm going to do one video for my 1 week post-op, which is tomorrow. And then I will probably vlog my journey home and let you know how all of that goes traveling after surgery. Because I know that that was something in particular when I was watching medical tourism people. I really wanted to know about the flight home and I didn't feel like people talked about it a lot. So I am planning on doing that. But stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. All of the well wishes have meant so much, and it's been really nice chatting with you all. As always, if you have questions, please look at the playlist first. I have a whole playlist of plastics related videos, including a Q&A video. So please watch that video before you ask me a question. And if it's not there, I'm happy to answer it. But it does get a little old answering the same question over and over again. So PSA for the day, but I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you all very soon.